That's great. Okay, we are now live on YouTube. Hi, YouTube. Okay, guys, we can start it. So, first, I'm going to ask if there's someone new. There's someone new here tonight? Someone? No? Okay, let's start. So, first, I'm going to introduce myself. I'm Rodrigo. I'm from Porto Alegre, Rio Grande do Sul. And I work in a startup called 99 Training People. So tonight we have a different subject for participate. Welcome, Gustavo. Gustavos, two Gustavos, welcome. Welcome. So tonight we have a different subject. So I'm going to bring to you focus in career. So the subject of tonight is, does a career entrepreneurship exist? Can you be an entrepreneurship not having a company? This exists for real? Yes, exists for real. And it's a new thing. The marketing it's brought into us. So I'm bringing to you right now something very new to use it tonight. So the objective of tonight is talking about career and all the focus in entrepreneurship, but not this normal entrepreneurship, but focus in new way to your career. So this subject, it's focus in show you a different example. We have, for example, here on TNT, Philip, our host, master host, he has a company, he's in entrepreneurship, he has a startup, TNT. And but you need to be an entrepreneurship, have only a company? No, you can take all the tools, all the ideas, and focus in develop a career, and can be in a company or in your life. So it's a very different and very dynamic. We talk about this tonight. So looking for career in an enterprise, for example, they seek in this very moment at the pandemic show new opportunities, but the focus of these new professionals, they must be in results for these companies. So this new term, they said, oh, you need the feeling of the owner. You think you own the company you work. You can be an employee of 1,000 employees, but have the feeling you are the owner of that company. And with that vision, you can change a lot of things in your sector, in your life, and all your behavior too, to be an entrepreneurship. So what they use it to change in your career, these tools. For example, all the CEOs, the businessmen, and owner of companies, they start very simple. They start little, and they change, they transform the career, seeing different. I brought here, they make a search at University of Australia. They show the professional of the future. It's a combination. They combine technology skills, for he use it in his work with data and creating algorithms and developing ideas and working with resilience to develop a lot of skills. This person, she must be fast and learning new skills. So he was going to working and manage with ideas, with new things he's going to brought. But this professional, this search says he need to be original, bring ideas, use his personal strategy and abilities to find these goals, and receive and give feedbacks all the time. For example, they make a search, and all the companies who search candidates uh, global, this search, they said more than 100% of the people are selecting, they are trying to choose people with creativity, with new skills, and with a critical vision. So this vision of honor make all the difference and can help all the professionals to be much more better in the career. So it's a new thing. I know it's something very different to we talk and develop. So I'm going to send you all the questions to you right now. And the objective here is giving your opinion. Your opinion, it's everything to us. So open your hearts. We want to hear from you what you think about that, if you like it. It's very important to our dynamics. So I'm going to send you right now on the chat. Okay. Just confirm to me if you receive it. Okay, that's great. Okay, we have 9 people. I'm going to make 2 rooms. Okay. Okay, I send you the invites so you can enjoy it. I hope you enjoy the subject. And we see from the end when you come back. Okay, that's great. Okay, so right now we staying here on the main room. It's our moment to talk. So it's very important to we introducing ourselves, to we continue our conversation here and talk about subjects. So Jonatas, are you there?
Yes,
Oh, that's great.
I
Can you introduce yourself? Go on, don't be
I
shy.
am Jonatas. I am living in Caxias do Sul, Rio Grande do Sul. I am teacher. I teach in 2 public schools, and I am 31 years old.
Oh, that's great. Thank you for sharing, Jonatas. What about you? Thales Meires. Uh, it's right?
Yes.
Oh,
Hi guys. Good evening. My name is Talita Meiri, but my nickname is Talis. Okay. I am 33 years old. In the moment, I open to work, but I'm woman versus an assistant. Okay. Okay.
that's great. Thank you, Talita. What about you, Solon Bonifacio? Please go on, introduce yourself. Don't be shy.
Okay, so good evening, guys. My name is Solon. I'm from Guarulhos. It's a city close to São Paulo. Well, I am 23 years old. I'm a student of electronic engineering, and I like to come here and practice my English. That's pretty much it. Thank you very much.
Oh, that's great. Thank you, Solon. What about you, Carlos Henrique? Please go on. Don't be shy.
Hello guys, I'm Carlos. I'm 24. I am a freshly graduated energy engineer, and I work for a solar consultancy company in São Paulo. I was living there before the pandemic started, and now I am currently at my parents' house in a very small town in Minas Gerais. And well, that's it. I'm working from here at the moment, but I probably will be back to São Paulo in the next year.
That's great. Thank you for sharing, Carlos. Oh, welcome, Serena. Welcome. Please go
Hi.
on. Hi, please introduce yourself. Go on.
Hi, my name is Serena. 24. I live in Minas Gerais, and I was missing TNT. That's why I'm here today. That's it for today.
Great. Thank you, Serena. Let me send you here to Solon again to everyone the questions. Okay. Great. So we can start with the first question. Do you heard about personal entrepreneurship? So that feeling of honor, the company, that way of work, do you hear about that in at some moment on your career or in your life? So I want to hear from you. This is not a monologue, guys. Please go on. Carlos Henrique, please go on. Help us there. Go on.
Okay. Well, now that you explained, I certainly do. As I work in a very small company, it has only 9 people. So this characteristic is very valued here. The CEO himself has already told us several times that we need this kind of thinking to be to perform greatly in this company, and I can sense this in my daily activities as I have to take a lot of roles. And for my personal experience, I tend to do this very naturally. I put myself in other people's positions, and I try to do my job very good and to pass a very good impression of the company as it was my own. So I think this is very present in my life, and I agree with you. It's very important and very nice topic for today.
Well, that's great. Thank you for sharing. It was awesome what you brought to us. Thank you for sharing. So what about you, Jonatas? Please go on. Don't be shy.
I work at City Hall, and I don't understand very well about uh, business companies, but I think the entrepreneurship is a new idea. It's a new thing nowadays, and is a different way to have independence. For example, uh, there are many people who want don't wouldn't like have a boss, for example, just work helping each other, work together.
Yeah, I agree with you. Sometimes you don't need a company, but working with your colleagues, helping, have that feeling you can help each other too. It's very valuable. And entrepreneurship bring exactly that. Oh, I'm going to create a company. No, I want to focus in a career. I can be an employee, I can be owner of company, but the feeling of owner of our job, that's what makes the difference. So thank you for sharing, Jonathan. What about you, Talita? Please go on.
Um, for me, I think is very important. You had personal entrepreneurships because I need to learning. You need a backage. You need new ideas, and I think is very important. Open new opportunities of the people and all the new empreendedorismo. No, I don't know empreendedorismo in English, and I'm learning English, guys. Sorry. Okay.
Don't worry.
And okay, I try. And I think it is very important, and you and new opportunities and new and people empreendedorismo and open new ideas and for a mercado.
Market, job market.
Yes, job market, exactly.
Thank you, market.
Thank you, Carlos. You're the man. Thank you. That's great. So you can go now, Carlos. That's the way. Let's go. Go on. Don't be shy.
No, I was just helping. I'm sorry. Are we on the second question
Oh,
already?
yeah. The question was about personal entrepreneurship. So have that feeling of honor of the company. Oh, I can work in a company with 5,000 people, but I have that feeling of be a owner of the company, give my best, creating things like the company was mine, making the best thing I can do. Basically that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've already expressed my opinion about that. I just thought it was the second question already. And maybe we should let other people talk about this as well.
Okay, that's great. So
But I'm happy to answer the next one if you want.
oh, okay, don't worry. I'm going to ask Solo and Serena, and we go to the two. Don't worry. Okay, thank you very much. So, Solon, please go on. I think you muted.
Okay, now I'm on.
Okay, great.
Well, I believe it's really important, because sometimes people relate in an entrepreneur with someone who creates a company, but it's not always like this. I see an entrepreneur as someone who sees a problem and try to solve it and maybe get some money with it, with its solution. So yes, you definitely should have someone like this in your company. You want someone who solves the problems in a creative way, in a safe way, and not so expensive. And yeah, it's always good to have someone like this in your team. So it's really important to have this entrepreneur spirit in, even if you work for a big company, a small company, if you are the owner or not. And yes, I really believe in that.
That's amazing. Thank you, Solon, for sharing. What about you, Serena? Hello. What do you think about that? I think you muted.
Now, you can hear me?
Yeah, that's great.
Okay, so I just want to make a point that if I ever heard of personal entrepreneurship, and I would say if I heard, I don't remember because I usually avoid terms that ends with ship, you know. So, but listening what you guys said, I think I just agree. I can elaborate something more complex than that, but that's it.
Don't worry. That's great. Thank you, Serena. So we're going to the number two. The question is, what do you think about this team? So this team, he is not amplifying on the market right now because he's beginning to come to us from outside of the country. A personal entrepreneurship for yourself, not for a company, for creating a business is focused on you. But what do you think about this new thing they brought? I believe it's a tool. We can use it to make better to our careers. I can use it a lot of tools so I can be better. I can make things better. Uh, Seeing that way, oh, I can make my best. We can have 5,000 people working here, but I can give my best as the company was mine. I believe that's it's amazing team. So this is a new tool, in my opinion, is going to help. So, Carlos, please go on. What do you think about that?
Oh, well, let's see. It's a rather complicated question. As I stated before, I think it's important for you to exceed in your professional career, and by that you gain tools to improve yourself in a personal way. So uh, this could help you to, for example, move from working for someone to open your own business, and by that you have already gained the experience needed to do this, and you have that mentality that will help you in this process. So I think it will help you in this way, and maybe even indirectly um, will help you to improve other aspects of your professional and personal skills as well.
I totally agree. I believe that's a amazing way to see things, and I believe we see as a positive thing. I believe it help us to evolve on this team. Is something very new, so I believe this positive vision help a lot on the career. That's great. Thank you for sharing, Carlos. What about you, Solon? What do you think about that? Go on. Don't be shy.
Okay. Uh, I've always heard about it, even though it wasn't with this name. I've had some teachers teaching entrepreneurship and things like this, and they always told me things like this. Oh, if you are not the owner of the company, that's okay, but you need to act like that in order to make the company grow. And if the company grows, you are going to benefit from that too. So yes, I always thought like that, and yeah, I agree. You need to behave like, oh, I need to do my best every day in order to make the company grow so I can improve my career. And yes, you are just showing off and showing your work, and this is great.
That's amazing. Thank you, Solon. What do you think about that, Jonathan? Please go on.
I think it is a new way to improve your career, and I agree uh, with you. And I see nowadays many people are using internet to work like to work with this way. The internet is very important, and to understand about internet, I don't know how to say, how publicidade works.
How the publicity works. Yeah. Oh,
Yes.
that's amazing. I totally agree with you because even if we are in a big or a small company, the publicity of our work and what we are doing, that makes a lot of difference. So what you said is very important because sometimes we do a small thing can make a lot of noise inside the company because we make the right publicity. So that personal entrepreneurship help a lot in that point. So what you bring to us, what you said, it's very important to everyone here. So thank you for sharing, Jonathan. That's awesome. Talita, please go on. What do you think about that?
I'm totally agree with Jonathan. Is the internet is very important for marketing and publicity, and I think this very agree.
That's great. Thank you for sharing. What about you, Serena? What do you think about that?
Um, Honestly, I'm a little bit lost. So I don't have much time to think about it, but I'm glad to hear and learn. So you can just avoid me, and I will be here listening.
It will be amazing have you with us, Serena. But don't worry. Thank you. So we're going to the number 3 question. Sorry, I do not forget no one, right? No. Oh, okay. I was thinking I'll forget so long. No, you answer right. Oh, that's great. Sorry. The number 3 question, it's a very important. So, sorry. Uh, have you ever used this concept on your career in what time? So, in some moment, that feeling of honor, you use it at some point of your career, I use now, and I use it a lot when I begin in the career. I believe that the moment we most use it in the career to show our job, to stay, to have the first job. And I believe after that, every day must be better. So for me, I use it a lot of moments in the company I work. So I work training people. So I give my best to they see the company they are beginning as the best company of the world. So I make my best to they see to have that vision. So in my job, I apply every day that kind of thing. So don't be shy. I don't want to make a monologue here. So Jonathan, please go on.
I work at schools and I teach the students about this because to have a good career is necessary uh, know how to resolve the problems with other people is a collaboration, and I think this thinking is the principal.
Oh, that's great. I agree. Totally. Thank you for sharing. What about you think this subject so long? Go on, please. Don't be shy. Go on.
Well, I really don't know because I'm on my first job ever, you know. So even if I didn't think like this, I believe I would try to give my best. But yeah, I believe you should do that every single job you have, even though it's not a professional thing, if it's a volunteer thing, if it's a personal thing, if it's a favor for someone else, you know. So just do it in the best way you can in order to avoid any complications. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Sorry, muted. Thank you, Solon. That was great. What about you, Talita? What do you think about that? Go on.
In my other job, sometimes I may saw the I don't know benefícios in English.
The benefits.
Benefit the benefits
Mhm.
for have a tax in benefits. I'm so the way I'm call you all those operations the benefits and they see the tax in the negotiation, please the tax some more. Okay is a good the client. Okay, I'm reduce the tax for you. Thank you so much.
Oh, that's great. It's making that make a lot of solutions we can have to our client, creating things new. Sometimes, like you said, a small thing can make a lot of difference to the client, to the company. So one thing can make a lot of difference. So I totally agree with you. That's
Thank
amazing.
you. May I help you?
That's awesome. Thank you, Talita. What about you, Carlos? Please go on.
Yes, I think I have already answered part of this question before. And yes, I use it in my daily routine at work because, as I said, working on a small company, one of the main goals is to make it bigger, to make it more important. So we have few people to do that, and we need to cause a good impression in order to achieve this objective. And also there is your manager or your boss requiring you to do that. So that's an extra incentive to perform and to think in that way. So for me, I think it's a very common thing in my work.
That's awesome. The number 4, Carlos, he say about the positive impact of this kind of entrepreneurship. For example, a class or something you learning with the help of thinking like that. So just to we continue the argument what we talking. So a class or something you learn about that help you in your career. That's the number 4, please. Go on.
Wait a minute.
Mhm.
As an example where entrepreneurship has had a positive impact for you.
Can be a course
Okay.
or something you learn from that, helping you in your career or in your day.
Well, honestly, I can think of an example of this situation of something that I learned from outside that helped me in my career, but it probably has happened and I haven't just noticed it. So yeah, I don't really know how to answer this question properly. I can't think of anything specifically in this moment. Sorry.
Oh, don't worry, that was great. Thank you for sharing. It was great. Thank you, Carlos. I believe for me was in the beginning of my career when I discovered I want to work with training. So the guy was called Pablo. I said, man, I want to learn from training. I don't know nothing, but I like it what you does. So he said, man, I want you stolen my job. I want to see you here with me or stealing my job. So you have to learn this. So you're going to make courses, classes. So that push he gave to me helped me a lot on my career. I love training people. That's the thing I love to do, and I do every day. So I believe that push helped me and make the difference. And for you, please go on. Jonathan, what do you think about?
And is it exactly about my career is I have difficult to explain because I don't work in companies or in with business, and for me, I don't have an answer for this question.
Oh, don't worry. If you want to tell after, can be a course or someone who give you an advice, something like that. But don't worry. We're going to Solon, please. Go on. What do you think about?
Well, sure. I have a few examples. One of the principle I like is uh, I had a project with my teacher, and he was trying to use a tool. And he's a doctor, like he has a master degree and then a doctoral degree. And I saw that that tool was not the appropriate to that task, but I was a little bit afraid to tell him. But I thought to myself, no, I believe I should do my best. And if I see that this is the wrong one, well, I should tell him. And I told him that, and he was really nice because usually the students, they just stay like, yes, that's right, teacher, that's what I'm gonna do. They don't tell the teachers what to do. And I believe it happens a lot in the academic environment. Serena is a researcher too. I believe this happens with her a lot of times because you need to take the lead, and sometimes your teacher is not doing what you think is the best thing to do, and you need to speak up. Do you have an example, Serena?
Oh, good. Yes. Now I'm a little more located in the conversation. I think I was a little lost because I don't work in a company, and not literally. I work in a academic area, so it's a little bit different stuff because first, we already work as we are the owner of the place, on everything. We have a lot of autonomy to do whatever. And yes, this case happens like with a little frequency, I would say. And it's very funny because not everyone can accept this or deal with that. So what I do sometimes is just do both things, what the people want and what I think is right. Just to make sure, it's scientist stuff. You will always have this bug in your ear saying, you should try. It's like a devil voice. But yes, and I also like to teach my students to be authentic and never have fear to say anything. I want they should be confident and don't depend on me. So I think I apply this every chance I have.
That's amazing. Serena is one of the most smart and brilliant people I ever met, guys. So it's amazing hear you. It's totally awesome. Thank you very much, Serena. It's amazing.
Serena who? Who is Serena? Huh? Okay.
What? Okay. So someone, Talita, I think Talita, oh, follow the connection. So we can go to the number 5. Do you think personal entrepreneurship help in the pandemic? I believe it helped a lot because, for example, people who working with food, for example, they have to make a totally different work to they continue their operations. For example, we have a lot of restaurants, for example, who never working with delivery. So when everything close, they find delivery in their lives. So I believe in the pandemic, they create a lot of opportunities, and entrepreneurship, personal entrepreneurship was everything to them. So what do you think about that, guys? Please go on. Solon, please, don't be shy.
Yes, I have some examples here in my neighbor. We have some is small stores, like you are an you are how can I explain this? You have a really small business and it's just to make some money during weekends, and you don't accept cards, you just accept cash. And but after the pandemics, like a lot of people were just dealing with cards and things like this. So these small companies, small business, they really needed to digitalize their business. And yes, they needed to take the lead, and it was a very entrepreneurship thing to do because you needed to change a lot of things that you were not used to do. You needed to learn uh, how to use the app, how to use the machine that accepts cards and etc. So yes, I believe this is a great example of how they adapt to this new era.
Sorry, muted. Okay, that's amazing. I totally agree with you. So, what about you, Carlos Henrique? What do you think about that in the pandemics? The companies used personal entrepreneurship, help them. How was, in your opinion, in the pandemic for the companies? Please go on.
I believe you're muted, Carlos.
Oh, sorry, I misclicked here. So yeah, I believe that in this pandemic, many people have been using this and maybe not even realizing the name of this characteristic. And as you guys have already talked about, a lot of people opening new business and applying these concepts to expand their business or to find a different and alternative way, because some of them have unfortunately lost their jobs. So yeah, I think this idea has been greatly applied and mostly in this small business, but also, and as it has always been in big companies as well.
I totally agree. Make a lot of difference. I believe a lot of people who work in their small companies like haircuts, restaurants, they all reinvent themselves to they survived. A lot of companies make this using entrepreneurship for personal. That feeling of honor or everyone, oh man, we are here in the boat, or we all take the hand together and go, or the boat is gone. So that's amazing. That's amazing thing you brought to us, Carlos. What about you, Jonatas? What do you think about that? Go on, please.
Is very evident because many people lost their jobs, and many people use it. The think is change quiz for create. Yeah, and create is very important with the creativity. And I agree with you about this.
Thank you for sharing, Jonatas. What about you, Serena? You wanna say about that?
Well, for me, it's a little bit different, as I said before, because the environment that I work. But what happened to us in the pandemic, because we didn't stop it, because we know we are doing research, so we can't stop. But in this time, we are without service. So when something broke or stopped the function, we don't have anyone to call. So we restarted to improvise stuff on the lab, and it has been pretty funny. We make videos while we're doing this stuff so we can watch later, and it's so amazing, you know. So we already improvise a lot of stuff, and when I look back, I think, wow, this is amazing. So this is what we have been doing in this time.
It's amazing. Thank you, Serena. So the number six, it's which sector you think the pandemic was more affected? I believe it was food, in my opinion. I believe people with haircuts and sell clothes, but I believe the people who working with food was very impacted with this situation of the pandemic. Here in Rio Grande do Sul, they make totally close. We can only go in the beginning of supermarket and pharmacy, no other stuff. So the companies all close. So in I believe it was 30 or 40, we're going to vida normal. I believe we don't have 2 months. We are going out here in Rio Grande do Sul, and it's really uh, difficult, in my opinion. So the most important impacted, I believe, was food. But what about you? What do you think in your state? How was more impacted at this moment? So,
Well,
go on,
should
please,
I?
go on. Yeah,
Okay.
great.
I don't know if it's the most important, but I know it was the most impacted. You know, it's the entertaining industry because here in São Paulo we have a lot of nightclubs, restaurants, open houses to party and etc. Cinemas, museums and etc. And they're all closed. You know, we also have the zoo, the aquarium. I don't know how to say that in English, but they are very touristic things and they gather a lot of people even during week or the weekend. And right now they just can't open, you know, because they are literally an agglomeration to make money. And as I told you, I'm not sure if this is the most important part, but they were really affected. Like they just can't work anymore, until this thing is over. So yes, it's that.
Oh, that's great. Thank you for sharing that. So, Jonatas, about you, what do you think was most affected on this moment of the pandemic? What sector you think was more impacted? Please go on.
I agree with Solomon. Events and parties here in my city. The foods is a way to make money. For example, I know a party. Last year was a party, but in this year, because the pandemic, uh, they are um, sell foods and open a restaurant. um, was necessary change the things.
Oh, that's awesome. Bring to us all his opinion. I say thank you very much, Jonatas. What about you, Carlos Henrique? Please go on. In your opinion, what sector was more affected of this situation?
Well, muted again. Dang
Yes, you were
it.
muted.
Sorry.
Go on.
Okay. Before Solon spoke, I was thinking about clothing, and but now I'm confused. I think this events sector was more affected because, like he said, they need the agglomeration to operate. But I also stick with my idea that the clothing stores, they were highly affected because it's something people can also postpone, and it's not something very basic as food or medicines, for example. And there are some researches or stuff like um, credit cards data that was shown that we could see the people's expenses in several types of markets, and this one was one of the lowest income in during those first months. So that's where I got my idea from.
That's great. Thank you, Carlos. So I'm bringing guys right now in 1 minute. We can choose the nine because I believe help us a lot. So to use it in our professional life, which profession here of someone in a main room you think use it in personal entrepreneurship would help at this very moment? So in the room, for example, oh, I working with training, working with what? And we see and say, oh, I believe someone here, for example, in a master degree, I working with training, I want to hear from you, your professions, and we choose, for example, one profession will be helpful, use entrepreneurship, personal entrepreneurship. So I'm waiting the guys come back and we can do it. Oh, okay, Gustavo Barska, Gustavo Chu, Isadora, Eduardo, welcome back to the main room. That's great. So we going to answer the number 9. For example, we choose one of the colleagues right here. We say our professions, and we going to give an example for used personal entrepreneurship. Okay, someone want to be a volunteer to tell the profession? Someone?
Could be a volunteer. My profession is software engineer.
Oh,
So I work
that's
coding.
oh, that's great. Amazing. Thank you, Gustavo. So I'm going to take someone for giving us an example. So Solon, what do you think entrepreneurship can help Gustavo profession? Go on. Don't be shy.
Oh, we can take success of example like we have Facebook. It was just an idea from some guys in their rooms, and it's totally personal entrepreneurship. Because you're just doing some project. It might go to success, it's going to fail, but you don't care, you're just doing your best. So I believe that in software development, if you're trying your best, if you have a great idea, you in the beginning you don't worry a lot about money, you worry about make things work. So I believe this would help a lot. Am I right, Gustavo? Please agree with me.
100%, yes.
Thank you.
I enjoyed the tips, and I think it will help you. Like it helps when you work with that goal, to make things work, not caring about the money.
That's awesome. Thank you, Gustavo and Solon, for
In this
participating.
case, I want to say my profession.
Yeah,
I want
go
tips.
on.
Give me tips. So I'm a scientist and I work with research in a
Amazing.
public context, in academy. So that's it.
Oh, that's great. Okay. Carlos, can you give us an example, please? Go on. Don't be shy.
Well, that's a difficult question, but well, I think one example of entrepreneurship that can be applied in this situation would be like the person start investing in private, let's say, private consultancy. As I know, there were some teachers of mine that also taught in the university, but they had some projects apart from it, so they could use their knowledge and their experience in certain area to apply for a different business and to make money out of it, like from a separate way from the university.
That's awesome.
I don't
I
know
mean,
if you agree, but yeah, that's an idea I had. Try this,
Yeah,
and then you tell me if it is right.
yeah. Actually, this is pretty common here. In fact, my advisor always say stuff like that, like, "Oh, you should sell something. We should do a partnership with the cheese company." And I say, "Uh-huh, okay." But he gives me so much work that I don't have time to think about these stuffs. But it's a very good idea. I can teach with my academic kids.
oh, that's amazing. Serena, Gustavo, Carlos, and Solon, thank you for answer. So I'm going to ask to Isadora, how was the experience on your room? Please go on. Don't be shy.
Oh, in the room, the guys was amazing. I was with Gustavo. Both Gustavo, no one Barska. I don't know the your last name, but it's okay. They both Gustavos and Eduardo. So each all of them has your dreams to open your startups and making the difference around the people they are living. And I think here I remember Gustavo Nunes. Now he told about his engineer and he had difficult to find a job, and he and his companion created a company, no, I think so. And and he makes some projects with this situation. He became a bad situation in a good opportunity.
That's amazing. Thank you for bringing all of this to us, Isadora. Was awesome. Thank you for sharing. To we finish, Gustavo Nunes, I want to ask kind of the number 10, it's this subject. How was for you and how you feel on the main, in the small room with talking about that? Please go on.
Yeah, yeah, man. This subject was amazing. This conversation because in this pandemic, entrepreneurship is a great idea because many people has lost their job, so people has to find a new opportunity. So, and if you don't find any opportunity, create your one opportunity. Is a great definition of entrepreneurship nowadays. So that is because TNT is a type of entrepreneur because it's a startup and it has helped many people in Brazil to become a better person, to get a new job in an international company and helping many people.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. And TNT makes a lot of difference to me, to everyone. And we here we can not just talking, we making connections, and we create
Yeah,
friends, help us with English. It's an amazing job, TNT. I'm suspeito para falar. So I'm going to, before I end, ask you if you can send the feedback. It's amazing to us. Receive your feedback, make a lot of difference. If you can send, I'll be very thankful. So if you can send, will be awesome. So Solon, Gustavo, Carlos, Isadora, Jonathan, Serena, e Gustavo Nunes. Thank you for stay with me until 11. I see you at the next TNT next Wednesday. Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much.
See you. Good
See
night.
Thank
see
you.
you.
you. Good night.
Goodbye.